More people are getting outside, and so are their pets. As Carla Shinkarik tells us, the city has issued a reminder about safety around dogs, and some experts weigh in with some important tips.
Thank you. Well done.
David Magnuson is a dog behaviorist and has been doing it for most of his life. He says a recent city public service announcement reminding residents about dog interactions is important information to understand where responsibility lies.
It's foundationally the dog owners. It's the dogs definitely are just reflective of their owners.
The city is specifically targeting bite prevention in their latest information, and according to a dog behavior researcher at the U of S, children and elderly are most at risk for dog bites.
Because the young children and older people, their behavior changes a little bit.
Mation says kids age 5 to 10 pose the biggest concern.
They are loud, they're unpredictable, and they manhandle. Older people, not so much, but they move differently. And dogs, especially if they haven't been around either, really struggle with that.
All right. That is the statement by Karen Mockin that I want to object to. Now, everything should be crystal clear now. Should have normal reception. Stream should be good. If it's not, please highlight my name and let me know. Only highlight my name if I'm having issues with the stream. All right? You tell me. Somebody asks, is it working now? You tell me. Y'all let me know if there's any issues. I'm going to leave that first live stream up for a little bit, just as sort of an appetizer for this one, right? Okay, yeah, let's back this up. Now, again, these people have a huge responsibility in society because the information they put out involves or deals with life and death scenarios or cases where people, their lives is altered forever. So whatever you put out as a dog expert, you need to be accurate. It needs to hold up to scrutiny. The things that this so-called expert said doesn't. Okay, that's why I have to take their stripes.
Because the young children and older people, their behavior changes a little bit.
What do you mean their behavior changes? Changes from what? Our first type of behavior is the behavior we have as young people, toddlers. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What is that supposed to mean? Behavior changes from what? Our behavior don't change. It is what it is. Okay, so I'm not even calling out. I'm just saying that don't even make sense. Point that out first. Make it make sense.
Nation says kids age 5 to 10 pose the biggest concern.
They are loud, they're unpredictable, and they manhandle.
Loud? No, they're not. No, they're not. They are no louder than adults. They are no louder than dogs. That's just a flat out lie. And if you're talking about screaming, let's not lie. Kids only do that sometimes. And if they are screaming nonstop all day and night, it's because you loading them full of sugar and you should be arrested for it. They're not loud. Dogs are loud. Their barking travels much farther than any scream a youngster could let out. Loud. So again, you're making an argument why these things should not be kept as pets and why they should be banned. You're saying these deadly creatures will launch an attack in response to a loud noise? A youngster could scream for 3 seconds. That's loud. So it can't hear any loud. Now, we've heard dogs being reported to launch attacks in response to the sound of fireworks and other loud noise, right? So what? You're making the case why these things should not be kept as pets. Thank you very much. And I really don't understand why this discussion has been had on mainstream, at the mainstream level here in the United States, with these so-called experts out here putting out misinformation like this. And Karen, if you got an objection to anything I say, feel free, knock yourself out. But like I said, I'm taking y'all stripes. Y'all not the professional. We are the only dog professionals, dog experts, dog tech experts on the planet. And I'm proving it by debunking every single so-called professional I find on the internet. Because you all spew the same rhetoric and misinformation. And it's time you've been questioned.
The young children and older people, their behavior changes a little bit.
Nation says kids.
Strike that from the record, that their behavior changes. Their behavior does not change. What are you talking about? Now, let's try to argue, make her argument for her. Is she saying that dogs usually are only accustomed to seeing young adults? Adults, let's say between the ages of 20 and all the way up to 80. Let's say 65. You're saying that, no, that's too old. Between 20 and let's say 40. Are you saying those are the only people that dogs see in their life, so they're not used to kids and not used to old people? And listen to what she said. This is the most bizarre stuff I ever heard in my life.
Age 5 to 10 pose the biggest concern.
They are loud, they're unpredictable, and they manhandle. Older people, not so much, but they move differently. And dogs, especially if they haven't been around either, really struggle with that.
So this sounds like she's describing shelter dogs. But even then, how do you know those shelter dogs have never seen an old person or a kid? Those shelter dogs usually have come out of somebody's home or something, or are stray. Either way, it's hard for a dog to have never seen a kid and never seen an old person. What type of statement is that? Strike that from the record too. This woman is all over the place. So let me tell you what the truth is. They attack young children because they're easy targets, and dogs view them as easy prey. Let me remind you, so-called expert, dogs have an instinct to establish dominance. Can we have a discussion today, ma'am, since you claim to be the expert? Dogs have a natural instinct. It's part of their instincts to establish dominance. When they form packs, all they do in packs is establish dominance through aggression, intimidation, and actual fighting. This behavior is natural in them. It's not caused by some unnatural sound coming from a kid. Or it don't come from no ear pulling or tail pulling. Now we know that that's what she's talking about when she's saying manhandle. You're actually talking about a kid manhandling a dog, grabbing its ear, pulling its tail. It's written all throughout so-called dog expert rhetoric. Provide for me at least 3 cases, and I want video, because I can produce dozens of video footage of unprovoked attacks on young people. What I want from you is at least 3 videos of a kid going up to a dog, pulling the ear, pulling the tail, and then being attacked. You won't even find one. And if we can't find any facts and evidence to back up what you're saying, then you're spreading misinformation. You're taking wild guesses and assumptions. Okay? That's why I'm snatching your stripes. We're the only professionals around here, and it feels good to say that and prove it. What else she say?
Says kids age 5 to 10 pose the biggest concern.
They are loud, they're unpredictable, and they manhandle. Older people.
Unpredictable? How? What do you mean? Isn't everything unpredictable? Anything that can move is unpredictable. I can predict that a tree won't move. What are we talking about here? You're going to have to clarify, make that make sense. Unpredictable? If kids are unpredictable, then so are adults. So are dogs. Dogs will go from sitting perfectly still to barking, getting up, running around, launching attacks. But they'll attack kids if they do the same thing? What type of sense are you making here? Again, you're making the case why they should not be kept as pets and why they should be banned. You're saying that if a dog sees you move in a way that it can't predict, that's reason for it to attack you? You mean unpredictable? This is not professional. This is unprofessional, people.
They are loud, they're unpredictable, and they manhandle.
And what is manhandle? Again, I know you're talking about ear pulling and tail pulling. Show the video. Now on my 2 channels, I've shown thousands of dog attacks. Video footage. They all involve unprovoked attacks. None of them involve ear pulling or tail pulling. That alone debunks. Strike everything that this woman said from the record. In fact, get her out my courtroom. Right, ma'am? Now, what accolades? No, she's not done. Then we'll go to her accolades. She's about to say something else that we need to respond to here.
Older people, not so much, but they move differently. And dogs, especially if they haven't been around either, really struggle.
And old people look like easy targets. That's why dogs attack them. People out there wondering. They attack older people because you look like you're having a hard time getting around. You look weaker. You move weaker. All predators target prey like that. They're all capable of seeing a creature with sickness, an injury, or something like that. Old people look injured sometimes. That's why they get attacked. And young people are easy victims. They're small, just like dogs will run, dart, leave their territory, invade your territory, and attack a small dog. They attack kids for the same reason. Many of the attacks I've shared involve the exact same scenario you hear with these dogs, where it came from out of nowhere, a distance away, and launched an attack. I've shown videos where you could see how far away the dogs ran from to attack somebody's kids. Y'all remember that lady, that Hispanic lady who had like 3 kids? Bless her little heart. She was terrified by this mutt. Came from a very long distance away. No. I can provide dozens of video footage. Where's yours? These things attack old people because you're struggling to move, struggling to stand up. You're moving slow. These are opportunistic mutants. Y'all gonna get that through your thick skull in 2024. All you fake experts. We taking y'all stripes with authority.
If they haven't been around either, really struggle with that.
To be activated and move towards.
Magnuson says dog owners need to do their job by regulating and balancing their dog's energy and being calmly in charge.
You know, when you're going for walks.
What we need to balance their energy for? Don't nothing else need to have its energy balanced. What are you talking about? You euthanize these hideous monsters. That's what you do before they launch an attack. Human life is worth it and deserves it. euthanize every single one of them before they attack, because we know they will eventually. But most of them have already.
You're gonna have a dog that knows how to live in the environment in a healthy way.
What is that supposed to mean? You walking your dog and you have a dog that knows how to what?
Dog's energy and being calmly in charge.
You know, when you're going for walks, you're gonna have a dog that knows how to live in the environment.
That's code talk for saying that, just make sure it's not attacking any and everything it sees. That's supposed to be a dog that knows how to exist in the environment. How pathetic is that? That you have to brag when you train the dog to the point where it don't attack everything it see? Can't make this up.
In a healthy way. But it starts in the home.
The city website talks about strategies if a dog is approaching and may seem aggressive. Important guidelines, according to this expert.
Understand, this suggestion is to adults. They're not directing this suggestion or these suggestions to kids. This is for adults. Listen.
Just be a tree, stand still. If they come up and sniff, great, but don't try and interact with them. Just leave it alone.
If you have a small...
Strike that from the record. Strike yet another comment from this lady off the record. Adults, don't do this. Make sure you got a clean record. Check the laws in your state and be armed. Worthless mutt come up trying to attack you. You bury a bullet in its face. Cops give a good example. They have access to several weapons. 99% of the time, they use their gun because they know that's the only thing that's going to work most of the time, because they've tried the taser several times, seen it fail. They've seen the baton fail. They've seen the pepper spray fail. The handgun have the highest success rate. Now, we don't want to use handguns as civilized people that we are, because we don't want to shoot somebody else. We don't want to shoot ourselves. So if you're uncomfortable with a gun, use a BB gun. Use something effective that you can legally use in accordance with the law in your state. Here in Ohio, a dog has to be approaching you aggressively, where obviously it's about to attack you. Check the laws in your state. Do not stand there and be no tree. I've shown y'all several attacks where people have stood like a tree and got attacked. More than we can remember, these so-called experts have been delegitimized so many times.
If they come up and sniff, great, but don't.
Yeah, no, thank you. So let's take a deeper look at this former professional, ma'am. I'm in my own world that I live in on this channel. I'm snatching your stripes. I'm snatching all these credentials. Look at her credentials. Associate professor, department veterinary, biomedical sciences, animal behaviorist. Check her out. Dr. Karen Mockin, PhD. She's a researcher, founder of New Hope Dog Rescue. Look at this. Academic credentials. Now, like I said in the stream that got cut off, ma'am, this is sad. It hurts me to have to snatch all these credentials from you, but all the time you spent every day, classroom after classroom, you wasted your life. All of this education was a complete waste of your life because it did not prepare you to be a professional, an expert. So, yeah, check her out. Look at her. This is her academic credentials. Check her out. She's currently a professor. Wow. She teaches developmental anatomy, ecosystem health, respiratory and physical. Man, please. I'm sorry, ma'am. I got to take all of this from you. The professionals, you're listening to the professionals right now. We are the dog attack experts, ma'am. And that goes for all the rest of you so-called experts. We're here now. We don't need to hear from you. If there's a dog attack, we will report on it. Nobody wants to hear it, and especially young people. I deliberately make my videos PG-13 because I know youngsters who are extremely young understand and can follow everything that I'm saying. And they know it's the truth. They know y'all put out a bunch of baloney that don't make logical sense. That's why we're growing and you're not. You're shrinking. The more we grow, the more you shrink. So yeah, that's my response. Karen, if you have a response to my objection, to my criticism, feel free to respond. Just make sure you identify yourself. Don't do it behind some sock account, which is what a lot of so-called experts do. Announce yourself, identify yourself, and lay out your objection to my criticism. Now, make it good. Make it good, because if it's a weak response, I won't respond. I'll just let the Crusaders gnaw on you. A lot of these dog people, you notice a lot of them I don't respond to because they already get thrashed by the subscribers, by the dog culture critics. We're here, man. Yeah, we're taking over. Y'all have mismanaged information for long enough. And this is important information that could get people hurt. Now I got to move along with this stream. Hope everything is going well. Hope everybody is doing well. I want to check a few other people in society. I want to start with a police officer who did something very irresponsible. You know, being required to protect and serve should also involve setting a good example. This story surfaced May 2nd, not that one. March, April. But anyway, you see this story? This story surfaced recently. Look, watch this. It was originally reported in 2018, and I was going to make a whole stream about this. You see how it surfaced in Good Morning America 16 hours ago? They do this all the time. They will repackage very old articles. They just republished this 16 hours ago. Why? Why? Why don't you have as many new stories? Why can't it be new news? Because y'all dying off. Your goofy culture is dying off. The young people tuning into us. They're reading our comments. They're listening to our videos. And they clearly, easily understand we're right. Sadly, my parents are crazy. And they're putting my life in danger every single day. A lot of young people listen to every video I make. How do you think they feel terrorized inside their home? Knowing that they can be cuddled up with these worthless mutants every night and just one day it'll just snap and attack them. But y'all see the title is, police officer called for a vicious pit bull, said the dog was really loving. How pathetic is that? Repackaged an old story. They even got a video. They even got video footage of this. It better be I'm gonna say it better be written out. How pathetic is that? Now check out what this joker did though. He said he was called, when he first got there, when he first spotted it, he left his door open. See that? Before he approached, he said he left his door open to his squad car in case he needed to jump back in if the dog was vicious and came after him. So he's a diehard dog lover. And as a diehard dog lover, you set a horrible example in this case. And shame on the media outlets that reported this too. So he spots this hideous monster, gets out, leaves his door open in case he got to run back. Now imagine seeing this. You see a big burly cop running from a dog and diving into his car, shutting the door. You're trained to take control of situations. Yeah, so mistake number one. He whistled at the dog. He said it immediately came towards him. Look, wagging its tail. Young people, a dog wagging its tail does not mean that it's friendly. Please, please understand that. There have been several of dog so-called experts who come out and admitted that they could be about to attack you and they'll be wagging their tail. I've shown several videos of it. And this was the actual Facebook post. Really can't make this up. The dog, I guess, had an implanted chip inside. So he starts petting on the dog and he let it inside of his squad car. This is a dog he don't even know, mind you. Could have rabies. Could infect him with capnocytophaga, which would lead to sepsis, where he'd need his arms amputated. Young people, listen to what I'm saying. All of this could have happened to him, and it could happen. Don't ever follow this example. What if it would have attacked you, man? And you let it inside your car, dispensing all type of feces, both visible and microscopic. Telling what this thing been eating on, probably been eating excrement. This is why I say this is a primitive culture. This is not what evolved human beings do. Especially in admiring these things like this, exalting them as if and treating them like they're harmless. Look at how they always bend over backwards to showcase and project them as harmless. They celebrate, what I tell y'all, they celebrate when these things don't attack, when they decide not to attack. They get off on the idea, on the possibility of it happening. That's why they made this article. That's why he took all these selfies. That's why they're all bragging about this now. Oh, look, it didn't attack. Who cares? Maybe it has in the past. Maybe it might in the future. So euthanize it now. Don't start petting on some mutt you just found somewhere. Let it inside your car. Are you crazy? Officer Frost waited with the dog and snapped some photos with it. And look at what he said. While you should always be careful around any dog that you don't know, you shouldn't automatically assume that all pit bulls are bad dogs. Why not? How is that going to hurt you? How is it going to work against you to assume that all pit bulls are bad dogs? Explain how. That question go for you too, dog lovers. Y'all are very silent. Y'all don't put up no true objections. The few of you that do leave comments, all you do is say, hey, I'm a dog lover, good point. Y'all not, because there is none. And ain't no excuse for this. You hear a lot of trainers saying you should never approach a dog you don't know. And y'all do it, he does it here, and y'all showcase it, brag about it. What kind of example is that setting? Young people, do not ever do what this police officer just did. Wow. You shouldn't automatically assume that no, young people, assume that they're all bad, aggressive, dangerous killers, because they are. each and every one of them, and stay away from them. Stay away from them. Especially stay out of the homes of people who own these things. It's a shame. Random people, strangers like me, got to give this type of advice to other people's kids. He went on. He said they might be really loving like this guy was this morning. You cannot make this up. Shame, shame, shame. And they actually repackaged this old story from 2018. There is an agenda. If y'all been wondering if there's an agenda, there's so many signs that you can't write them all down. You miss a lot of them. Young people, I'm sharing with you news, breaking news at all times. Look at this report right here. Someone attacked by their own dog. Dog attacked its owners this past Tuesday. This surfaced 4 hours ago. 4 hours ago. These things are always attacking their owners. Why wouldn't they attack you? Me. They found chunks of human flesh. Police say they also found what appeared to be human flesh on the kitchen floor. Can't make this up. Where is this? Boardman. You know what that is? Boardman. Where is Boardman? Oh, I'm not done. I'm not done. Where you going? Here's another one. Here's another one. Is this the same one? No. This is Eureka. You see when it surfaced? Wednesday, April 10th, 2024. That's today. Woman seriously injured in reported dog attack. Huh? Dog attack at a residence. Very large wounds on most of her extremities. Attacked by a pit bull. Okay? And especially with bully breeds. What do you think those young people feel if they're listening and following my videos? They're terrorized up in their homes. Okay? This was her own dog. Look at this. Pepper spray wasn't successful. Wasn't successful. These were her own dogs. And this is a 54-year-old woman. You see, look, according to the report, 54-year-old woman was attacked by her pit bull. Her own pit bull. So when you see all these women on social media cuddled up with their dog, don't assume that those women are safe from that dog. This happens all the time. 14,000 dog bites every day in the United States. Any one of us could be next. So be smart and have a productive day on this fine hump day. Stay prepared, armed. Avoid dog lovers at all costs. And if you have to put in work, try your best to record it so that I can share it. Shout out to all of you able to join me on this live stream. And I hope to see you on the next as we continue with this crusade.